Hi there everyone, I'm the guy from the Gamertag, and today I wanted to talk about Modern Warfare, but it's going to be a little bit different to normal. It's going to be aimed at the community, and it's going to be kind of on the lines of a rant. Now, I will have to preface this and ask you to please be open-minded in this. I'm probably going to say things that are going to annoy, upset, and perhaps even offend some of you. But please stay open-minded, wait till the end of the video before applying your comments, because it will illustrate the point as best as I can. Now, the topic in question is the skill-based matchmaking debate, because a lot of players do like to use this as a scapegoat and an excuse for a lot of things. Quite often you'll hear people saying skill-based matchmaking is making the lobbies really sweaty, I always have to play against sweaty players, they're always using M4s or drop-shotting when I'm against 5 stacks, or the skill-based matchmaking is giving me bad teammates. There are other people that take it to extremes, but they're not actually worth including in this because it's not the point of this video. For me personally, I don't really believe it's a thing. I haven't felt its effects at all. I don't actually think that it really makes any difference to the game, because quite often, you will just come across players that are better than you. It's normal, it's absolutely fine. Having played competitive games for the last 3 or 4 years, I've got myself used to when other players use a strategy that I wasn't expecting or I perhaps find annoying, that I have to accept that they outplayed me in that scenario, and what can I learn from it to try and improve next time I have to fight against it. Whereas a lot of players in this game just say, oh, they're sweating, they're trying hard, oh, it's the matchmaking. And to be honest, it's a feeble excuse. It's just a way of diverting the fact that that person played better. It is possible that other players play better than you. Some people might have just been having a really good game. That person that's killing you over and over and over again, they might have just been having the game of their day. It might just be that that team happened to work together. And sometimes teams just gel. They have the right mixture of players and it just means they can play better. It's not the matchmaking screwing you over. It's just the randomness of human beings. And that is what is the problem. And to also illustrate the point, I want to ask you all a question. So a lot of the players that will say that the game is making other people play really sweaty, they're having to play against other tryhards and that, oh, I hate playing against tryhards. How many of you will use a headset when you're gaming? Of those, how many perhaps use a modified controller like a scuff controller? Who uses a high refresh rate monitor? Or perhaps drinks energy drinks or G Fuel or something to try and give themselves an edge? I think it's fair to say, if any of these things did apply to you, you're not a casual player anymore. At this point, you are no longer the casual player. You have spent extra money on these peripherals and these drinks so you can have an advantage over other players. And yet you want to complain that other players are trying hard? It's simply a diversion to divert the fact that you got outplayed. You need to accept that you are no longer the casual player and own it. Learn from your experiences and your mistakes. Yes, they might have used a cheap tactic, but look at the way they're playing and see if you can work out a weakness in the way they're playing. There always is. You've just got to look for it and keep trying. You need to be willing to improve. Just because you used to be bad and got good at the game does not mean you will never be bad at the game again. You always have to be ready to adapt, and you have to stop diverting the attention from the fact that this player did just beat you and they bested you in this encounter regardless of whether you like the way they played or not. But now, to address the second part of this, if you feel that you don't like playing against what you feel are sweaty players because they use tactics that you do not enjoy, perhaps they jump shot, perhaps they drop shot, perhaps they camp a little bit and you don't like that, you need to focus your attentions on those things. Those are the things the developers can fix. They can see if they can adjust the meta so people will play more aggressively. They can change the animation styles and the way your character works so that you don't have to deal with people jump and drop shotting because it will no longer be viable. These are the things you need to focus on if you don't like playing against them. I personally hate jump shotting and drop shotting. I find them cheesy, but more so for me, they ruin the immersion of the game. I love the immersion of this game. The sound design, the animations and the graphics, they really put me in that universe. But then when people start jump and drop shotting, it just completely ruins that for me, as well as it being a cheesy mechanic in my opinion. But instead of blaming the matchmaking, I know that the most proactive thing I can do is voice the opinions that I don't like those things being in the game. I open up a discussion saying, do other people think this? Do other people agree with me that these things should be in the game? There is definitely a fair opinion saying that it's another tool in your kit, it's something you can master, it adds a little bit more skill to the game. But as a player who doesn't enjoy it, I can voice my opinions too about how it ruins the immersion for me. And it opens that discussion, and it's up to the developers to decide what they want the game to be. That is how you need to approach this. Stop diverting the blame to the matchmaking. It's not causing the problems. The problem is caused by the fact that you haven't accepted that you are no longer a casual player. You are not the casual player anymore. You are the tryhard. Own it and learn from the times you get beaten, because it's going to happen, and you might as well learn from it, because learning is the one thing in life that never stops. Anyway, I do hope you've been able to tolerate this video right into the end. Please do feel free to continue the discussion in the comments below. As I've said, hopefully you've waited until now so you can understand the full scope of my point. Some of you might be angry and you may leave that in the comments, but I'm still interested to hear your opinions nevertheless. And as I've said, I've been the guy with no gamer tag, and I'll see you on another video.